There's a new line of AI 4K cameras from Ubiquiti, and the one I have here is going to replace that Lorix camera. And for the price, I'm truly surprised what they managed to pack in here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Bogdan Ciperny, founder of Apex One IT, and we do camera security. So this specific Lorix camera is actually not that terrible like the rest of these Hikvision cameras that are here, which is why this campus is getting the full UniFi Protect treatment. And this open space temporary parking lot is going to be a great spot to test out the new G6 Bullet. Before we go back out there to install, let me show you a couple of the key features of the camera. So this is the G6 Bullet in white, and they should have one in black as well. It's in this, I will call sort of a jet engine exploded view for you, so it's easy to see how it all comes together. This is the main body, so let's take a look. It comes in at 1.6 pounds with the mount. This is not installed completely, but once this is, the length of this is about 6 inches, which notably is about 1 inch shorter than the AI Pro, about the same size as the G5 Pro, and the diameter is 3.2 inches, very similar to the other cameras, except the G5 Bullet is much smaller than that. Like always, it does have this nice, white finish, and all of this, you can tell it's metallic. There's definitely some polycarbonate in here. And if you install it properly, as you should, it should be ready for IP66, which is a bit better than the IP65 of the G5 Pro. And essentially what that means is that it can withstand high water pressure right in the exposed outdoors, no problem at all. It's good up to, or should operate up to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, which is also notably a bit higher than the G5 bullets that are about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Because of the nature of the design of a bullet camera when it's mounted like this, the tamper resistance is rated at IK04, which is very typical, very good for a bullet camera. You'll just notice that for Dome Ultras, it's typically higher. Could be like 06, 08 even. One of the best features here, of course, is this new lens and sensor. It's a 8 megapixel 4K sensor. That's what makes this exciting. The field of view is very similar to the other Pro cameras, the G5 Pro, the AI Pro, of about 110 degrees horizontal. The G5 Bullet is much more narrow at 85 degrees. Somewhere down here are the IR sensors, and notably it's a bit better than the other models, so it should be good about to 100 feet. That's definitely something we'll test out. The AI Pro, the G5 Pro, they're at about 80 feet, which is pretty similar, pretty good. But the G5 Bullet, the $130 camera, that's only rated for 30 feet of IR. What really surprised me is that it doesn't just have, what all the other UniFi cameras at this point have, smart detections, but it has the enhanced or advanced AI detections, right? Face detection, recognition, and license plate reading. So I think it also might have the categorization of like what kind of SUV color and things like that. So we'll test it out for sure. But that's really why I'm excited about this one. I think it's going to replace a lot of other cameras that I previously spec'd out for other jobs. I think this G6 Bullet will be the camera to go with. I should note that it doesn't have two-way audio, but it does have a microphone right on top there. And on the back here, it is just PoE, which is great. Only consumes 10 watts of power. And there's a reset port there as well. And looking back here, I do notice it has a rubber seal. Well, not all the way around, as you want it to actually drain. But I'm sure that makes a nice seal there. So in case something does go in, it drains out. So that's about it. There's more accessories here for installation, but let's go and actually install it, and I'll show you that. Now for the mounting, here's what we have. Obviously the camera itself, this is your standard mounting, right? So we're going to, no matter what, we're going to install that. There is kind of a new grommet style, rubber grommet. I'll show you that in a second. So that goes on there, and then the back end goes on this plate, and there's a tool to help secure both ends to the camera and to the base itself. And in the box, there's also a bracket for pole mounting. So this should be good up to a 2-inch, I think it's 1.5, 2-inch pole. And there's screws for that. So this will attach to the base itself. And then in here we have all the hardware, of course. and the different grommet sizes for your cables. Most likely, I'll test this out, but it's probably gonna be the center one. And then this is that grommet as well. That's where the grommet lays in. So just like this installation picture they have here, that's what we're going to do. In our case, we're not using these screws. We are going to use just the 2 mounting screws. There's also plastic anchors if you're going into, you know, brick or concrete, but we're going into wood. So we just need these 2 screws. Before I tighten it all down, you just want to look at your view and just lock it down exactly right as you want it. So just hand tighten for now. Now that's looking pretty good to me, so we're going to go let this run for a couple days, day and night, and I'll meet you at my desk. We'll see what that looks like. Before we take a look at the footage, if you appreciate the extra time it goes into recording and install, please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos of installations like this. And let's take a look at the dashboard. It does record audio, so I'm here, by the way, in Find Anything. I just filtered to this specific camera. I'm looking at all events right now, but we can go to audio, and not just, you can go audio, but not just audio, we can go for speaking. And I've already flagged a specific one just so you can see it here. Okay, here we are, and let me actually do high quality. I'm not on site, so this is going through the internet. Let's get some sound. This was 30 feet I marked off. As we approach, let's take a listen. There's a lot of traffic noise here for sure.
Yeah, okay. So going up closer, a little audio test. This is another conversation. You guys are like, let's go break in here. Look, we're gonna.
Okay, I mean, we're right under the camera here, like 10 feet, so it's loud enough here. Okay, just in general, so you can see what that looks like and how you can find that very easily. Although ideally, because the traffic noise is so loud here, what I should have done, I should have went here to the camera settings and under settings for microphone noise reduction, okay? Windy or loud environment, that would have been better, so let's apply those changes. And now in terms of the other detections, I can also go here, right, to persons. And let me again find a specific one. I already looked through these. So here's one I was testing. Here you'll see me walking all the way back there. That's, I measured that out. That's 100 feet away from the camera, approximately. Actually, exactly right there. So you see it's picking up that it's a person. So in daytime, this is, you know, pretty ideal overcast situation here. I'm walking towards the camera now, probably 40 feet. 30 is giving me a confidence level, and you can enable this here to show that. And we should also get, so right there, phase detection. So that was pretty close on that phase detection, about maybe like 15 feet when they captured it in this instance. But I verified in other instances that does capture people way out there, just not showing it for the sake of privacy here. This is the actual clip from the camera downloaded to my computer that we're watching. There's still, of course, compression stuff through YouTube, but this is just so you can see what the quality looks like. I mean, it's definitely 4K. You can tell that in that grass, there's a lot of sharpness there. So yeah, that camera detection, I mean, it got me that in this instance, and I looked at other ones again, even other people. You know, it can capture somewhere here where my mouse is, which is like 20 feet. And that's in this example. This was not set up for catching people's faces. So just something to consider. It's not ideal for someone to walk kind of right under. It's a little bit weird. If you really want to capture faces, I mean, you will have people walk next to it, and I would generally lower the camera for that purpose. Now for vehicles and license plate detection. So same location here, and Find Anything, that camera, you can just filter to any type of vehicle detection, or, you know, colors, type, and license plates detected. Let's go again to these flags, and I'll show you kind of fringe cases, and, you know, you can fill in information and you'll understand how it works between that. Sorry, don't mind that face, man, that's terrible. So here, look at this one. So detected, let me just show you the details here first. It detected it's a vehicle, SUV. It was 90% confident, even though it's a sedan, but let me show you how far away this is. And white, 70%. Yes, it's white, it's not SUV, but check this out. Did you catch that right there? Okay, let's go back. So I'm driving through here, and bam, there's kind of highlighted really quick. That's the detection. So it's like 120 feet or something. I'm just surprised it captured that. I wouldn't rely on it for that, but just letting you know. And here's a more typical one driving in. So it picked up sedan, vehicle, white, pretty confident here. Okay, so it's driving in here. And right now it's not detecting, also because I turned off this zone, so it wouldn't keep picking up the roadway. But once we drive in far enough, there it is. So this is past 100 feet, and look, it's getting a sedan, that's white. I stopped there specifically because I know that's 100 feet from the camera lens, and no problem picking up there. Now with actual license plate detections or reading, that can be quite a bit more tricky. So for example, let me show you one that's a little worse first. Actually here, so first of all, this is an easy one, so it's picking up that plate exactly, no problem. Then I go around, it kind of re-triggers. And now here, it's about maybe 70 feet already. You'll notice it's picking up a wrong plate, right? It got the last 4 digits correct, but again, these are just examples of what can happen. The further you go away like this, the less likely you're able to get an accurate reading. So if you want less of these kind of false readings, you could turn off the zone for vehicles over here, so that it's only closer, maybe like 70, 50 feet or less is probably what's okay when you can get accurate readings. However, it kind of depends, right? If I was looking for maybe a specific vehicle, and even though it detected this car, if I go, let's close this, let's go to our vehicles here, and I can type in the search here. Maybe I just know those last couple digits, okay, 594. So see, this is the one where it picked up all the correct detections, and there's multiples of this. This one was wrong, this one was wrong, but see, because I know a couple of those characters, I can still find that vehicle of interest anyway. So it might be useful even if you don't have the full license plate, is my point. If you did want to modify what it's picking up, you can go here to settings, recording settings for that camera, and in smart detection zones, here's where we want to edit. For example, I have this default one, you'll see it's not picking up here. It's picking everything up. If I wanted to make, for example, a new zone, I could just say that, hey, I want that to pick up everything, but maybe just here. And so this, maybe for this, I just want vehicles here. And you can save that. And so this zone, in this zone, maybe no vehicles, right? And that way I can still pick up people walking there. But here I have this vehicle zone. I know for sure I'll get, most likely, it's like 70% a good license plate reading. At night, you'll see us staying out there, still getting truck, very confident, good job. So it's picking me up, walking as a person. Again, that was probably 80 feet. So that's what you can expect. I mean, you're not going to get face detections unless for some reason you have a very bright area there, but just IR. And right now I'll show you the actual clip up on the screen as well, so you can see what it actually looks like. And in terms of vehicles, again, it's basically pitch black here. So this is all going off of IR. So we saw this clip. I mean, it's capturing that past 100 feet, no problem. And here's just another example. And you can tell, by the way, I mean, you're not going to get a license plate here at night also. But you still can get some, pretty far detection. So that's, again, 130, 120 feet. It's still capturing vehicles, pitch black. That's great. One exception to that rule I noticed is that if you are very close, like this sedan was right there, it can still possibly capture that license plate. If it's actually critical for you to get a license plate reading in this type of situation where it's dark day and night, it's important to you, then UniFi does have a dedicated LPR, and we'll be testing that on this campus as well. So if you want to see that video, it'll be right up here when it's ready. Otherwise, you can click down here to see what Ubiquiti has recently released. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.